wanted to tap in really quick, right? Let's see here. There we go. Wanted to tap in really quick and just speak about a few things, you know what I'm talking about. It shouldn't be too long. Usually when I say it won't be long. It end up being, you know what I'm saying, pretty lengthy. But I'm going to try to keep this one short, you know what I'm saying? Because I just want to speak about a few things, you know what I'm talking about, just a few topics. So I see that a lot of people are able to decode the symbolisms, you know what I'm talking about, symbologies and stuff like that that's going on in the world with, you know, different entertainment venues, you know what I'm saying, right? And it's a good thing that there's a lot of us that can see, right? Salaki. One of the main things is that because we're able to see, you know what I'm saying, some people will just rest on the ability that they're able to see and not look at it, you know what I'm saying, as a sign of the times. And what I mean by that is that so many people will mess around, and because they can see, then they be like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying, I have my third eye open, so now my third eye is activated and all this, and you know what I'm saying, these type of things, right? Still not knowing that, you know what I'm saying, they're still halfway asleep, you know what I'm saying, is because the reason I say that is to say this, right, is that one of the main things is that the enemy works in all kind of different avenues. And so he will have people feel like that because they are, you know what I'm saying, in the knowledge of Gnosticism, you know what I'm saying, but still being able to deny, you know what I'm saying, the Messiah, to deny, you know what I'm talking about, the Most High, then this means that they're still operating in a form of idolatry because they're their own God in their mind, you know what I'm saying. And reason I say this is because I seen a post, and I think it was, you know what I'm saying, maybe like a year ago, it just popped up on my timeline, but somebody posted it, and they were saying that to the youth that I guess that the youth is tripping, the youth is lost if they're you know what I'm saying, praising Christ, if they're praising, you know what I'm talking about, the Mashiach, right? And so I got very bothered by that and was a little scared, you know what I'm saying, for the youth, because the youth actually is the future generation, right? And so because we have people that still operate in stubbornness, you know what I'm saying, in spiritual stubbornness, blindness, you know what I'm saying, then they are leading the youth down a broad road, you know what I'm talking about, of darkness and damnation. And so, you know, many people don't like to hear these type of things, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, I really don't care, because the thing about it is it needs to be said, right? Is so when they said, because there was some people in there, and I seen, you know what I'm saying, there are some people that had the name Judah and stuff in their names and stuff like this, and was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, and it was just, they were just really mocking, making a mockery. And so my thing to y'all is to be careful with some of these people as well, because a lot of these people that feel like that they are, you know what I'm saying, or that have these names and titles, you know what I'm saying, they're really not the people that you think they are. You see, so many people come in the form of having, you know what I'm saying, righteousness, having, you know what I'm saying, a righteous spiritual base, but then they're so quick to denounce and deny, you know what I'm saying, the real power of, you know what I'm saying, the Messiah, the real power, you know what I'm talking about, of Elohim, of God, right, which the world considers him to be, right? And so when we understand this, we understand that there is a big veil that is trying to be resheathed over the eyes of many. And so inside of that sheath, you know what I'm saying, or behind that sheath, they're trying to push a certain dynamic in narrative to have people fall into agreement with the agendas that they have, you know what I'm saying. And so in these times, like I've said before in a few videos, you know what I'm saying, that there will be, that in these times it's going to be things that are going to that are going to appear like a sense of liberation, but it won't fully be liberation, right? And so one thing that I seen is I seen a video on YouTube. It was a playback. I guess it was a playback of the president speaking about something, talking about it's gonna make, you know what I'm saying, January 20th the Liberation Day. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about liberation is that something has to be liberated in order for it to be celebrated as that day, right? Because we know that liberation means, you know what I'm saying, that things are restored, that people are able to be out from underneath the chains and the titles and the systemic oppression and the snares, you know what I'm talking about, of a system that no longer works or that has never worked for the people, right? And so this means that taxes and being able to restore, you know what I'm talking about, the bonds that come with, you know what I'm saying, the birth certificates that people own and stuff like that, the social security numbers, all these things that have something to do with the ceste Q that the people end up selling via the stock market and, you know what I'm saying, selling the bonds and deeds, you know what I'm talking about, in order for them to be able to continue to get richer, you know what I'm talking about, and to be able to still keep a people underneath the spectrum under a status of poverty, right? And not give them the full game of the system. So this would mean that that thing has to be overturned, but it has yet to be fully overturned, right? Now, because this is kind of everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It's just my thoughts on certain things, you know what I'm saying? With the post that I seen, with there's the people that was talking about that, you know what I'm saying, what is the youth doing, you know what I'm saying, giving their life to Christ, and they lame for that and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? These are the people that are very dangerous in our communities, you know what I'm talking about? A lot of people will continuously say that, you know what I'm saying, it is the drug dealers and all these type of stuff, which they definitely are, you know what I'm saying? However, when there's a person or a people that want you to be so swayed from being able to be delivered, they want you to continuously sin, you know what I'm saying, then this shows that those people have a perverse mental, you know what I'm saying, because first and foremost, whenever they're saying that the youth should still be able to sin, this would mean that they're falling into agreement with the ideal, you know what I'm saying, of being able to sin. So therefore, this would mean that they want to be able to deal with youth who sin, whether it be to have them to do things that they want them to do, you know what I'm saying, to still have manipulative control over them, you know what I'm talking about, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, sexual acts, or whether it be criminal acts, you know what I'm talking about, whether it just be, you know what I'm saying, because they don't really care about the youth and they want, you know what I'm saying, they have some form of jealousy, and so it's a some type of conspiracy, right, against the youth, that they want them to be able to eradicate themselves and not to even be able to seek help or even grow and advance more than, you know what I'm saying, than what they have grown, you know what I'm saying, because I see that with a lot of people that are older as well. These people are supposed to be OGs and lead the youth to the right direction, but yet they're still like, okay, well, you know, because they're younger than me and they're doing more, then I feel like that it's a threat to me and all this type of stuff. They have that mentality, right? So then they'll do whatever they can to try to kill off the dreams or kill off the life or the livelihood, you know what I'm talking about, of the youth who is working hard, you know what I'm talking about, from situations and scenarios in a world where many things aren't so easily catered to them, but many things are placed, you know what I'm saying, at the tip of their fingers. But sometimes people get misconstrued with that because they're so technological advanced, and they have the intuitiveness and the creativity, you know what I'm saying, and the ingenuity to be able to make a situation into, you know what I'm saying, a financial opportunity, right? Now, I will say sometimes it appears like, or it comes off at like, as like at what cost, right? But, you know, that'll be another video. But I'm just speaking, you know what I'm saying, about just different things. I named this one, you know what I'm saying, what is this? I think this is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? I named this not for the weak. The reason why is because that I see that, especially in these times, that so many people are easily swayed to be coddled back to sleep, you know what I'm saying, on their spiritual journey. And because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, us as humans, we tend to feel like that because things are not in motion the way that we would prefer them to be, then it just means that there's nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall into that ideology, because the enemy works within that. There's a lot of things that's happening. Many people are having more dreams. They're able to have more dreams that they can remember and recall and stuff like this. There's, you know what I'm saying, there's many things that is happening in the spiritual realm, is what I'm saying with that. And so there's things that are really operating and working, you know what I'm saying, out the way that they should be, for them to come into fruition and to come into reality. You know what I'm saying? For those things to bring the supernatural into the natural. Sometimes the spiritual work does not look like that every day, you know what I'm saying, you get up and yet you know what I'm saying, are facing a physical challenge. Sometimes it's mental things, it's spiritual things. There's reasons that the dreams happen. You can have dreams that end up basically, you can have dreams that end up, I guess, kind of showing you those things. For many people who pray and they ask, you know what I'm saying, for the Most High to be able to show them themselves, you know what I'm talking about, then what he will end up doing is he'll allow you to go through dreams and stuff like this in order for you to see how your mannerism is in the dream, or if you have certain fears in the dream, or if there's something that you are being congratulated with in the dream, or you know what I'm saying. So this is why, you know what I'm saying, many different things transpires in the dreams, right? Because he shows us in these dreams. He shows us things to which to come, you know what I'm saying? Because we know in Joel 2, and I think it's 25 or 28, where it says that, you know what I'm saying, that men will dream dreams, you know what I'm saying? The children will prophesy and stuff, the youth will prophesy or whatever, right? So in those dreams, those things are to be, this is meant for those who have dreams, are going to be able to receive messages, things that will be intuitive inspiration or intuitive, you know what I'm saying, encodings for people to decipher. But as everything works together, because let me go to this verse really quick so I can show you something. Let me break this down really quick, right? Because I don't want to just wasn't gonna go here, but let's go here, right? Let's see. So Joel 2. Yeah, so 2:28, right? I think that's what I said. Maybe I did. I don't know, but it's Joel 2:28, right? Get some light going really quick, right? All right, and so it says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit unto all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, right? Okay, so a quick breakdown of that, you know what I'm saying, that part of the verse, right, is that all those things are going to correlate together, you know what I'm saying? So what he's going to do is to use everyone in a unison with many different gifts and attributes, you know what I'm saying? I guess we're not reading it, right? Many different gifts and attributes and stuff like this. Things will be open and released and given to many people. And so all these things will correlate together, And so if one is thinking that, okay, so if they prophesy or whatever, there'll be a confirmation through another one's gifts. You know what I'm saying? One will see a vision, then, you know what I'm saying, one will have dreams, and then one will prophesy. So all these things correlate together, you know what I'm talking about, in an orchestra of confirmation, right? And so this is what I'm saying, is that in these seasons, we need to be a little bit, well, not a little bit, we need to be more closer than ever, because there's a lot of things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? There's things that they're playing in our face and trying to get people to come into agreement with, also trying to get people to denounce the power thereof. And so now they're starting to push more and more of, I guess, many entertainers, what people would call icons and stuff like this, government officials and all this type of stuff. Many people who operate in the system is what I'm gonna say, right? In order for them to be able to kind of be swayed back away from, you know what I'm saying, the developmental growth that people are actually, you know what I'm saying, walking in. They see that it is effective, but also, you know what I'm saying, they still are trying to push the narrative of people to come against or come in agreement with that thing that is set against them, to set the people apart, right? And so now we have so many people that are still stuck into certain things. They don't want to release certain things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they just like, okay, because sometimes whenever the Most High gives grace, you know what I'm saying, people will feel like that, oh, it's okay for me to stay in this thing, you know what I'm saying, until he tells me to. But it's many times that he's told people, you know what I'm saying, to release certain things, but they want to stay into it. You know what I'm saying? And so these will be the people that continuously get offended whenever you grow or whenever you speak on something, you know what I'm saying, that is unpopular, because it's not something that, you know what I'm saying, many people, you know what I'm saying, it's not something that many people tend to be geared towards, because it's something that's different, something that people will consider it to be, I guess they'll consider it to be lame or whatever. You know, who wants to be saved and all this type of stuff? Who wants to be able to have everlasting life somewhere and all that type of stuff, right? And it's because people are holding on to they're holding on to the riches of life. I'll say that, right? They'll hold on to the thing what they consider to be riches of life. You know what I'm saying? Those things that gratify them, you know what I'm saying? Tangible things that gratify them. You know what I'm saying? And so they tend to keep people stuck into these things where, you know what I'm saying, celebrations of ceremonial practices, you know what I'm saying, of certain rituals and stuff like that. Just like we have Valentine's Day coming up. Many people will be like, you know, whenever we speak on a lot of things, they get mad about, well, celebrate holidays and it shouldn't be. But yet, if the Most High says that's not a day that is set to be celebrated, and people don't see the thing behind it, right? People will go on to the thing of what's the intention, you know what I'm saying, or how they perceive it, right? And to make it make more sense, right? It would be just like somebody killed your family member, murdered your family member, you know what I'm saying, on a day, and then everybody's celebrating it, you know what I'm saying? Now, worldwide, they know that this day is, you know what I'm saying, a remembrance day for you, right? But yet everybody is like, oh, we don't think about that. We just do it because how would you really feel about that? You see? Not too many people think on that level, right? Now, I'm going to say this as well, is that people get lost inside the loop of that thing because they feel like that, oh, well, it's Valentine's Day and we're supposed to be able to rush around and have all this thing for love and love and love, you know what I'm saying? When in truth, you know what I'm talking about, if you were with a spouse, you know what I'm talking about, every day should be Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to talk about that part. They don't want to hear that part. You know what I'm saying? Every day should be a celebration of your love. The fact that you have woken up, that you have awakened, and you have somebody in your life that is actually, you know what I'm saying, of importance, that is of significance, that is, you know what I'm saying, a helpmeet, right? Somebody that you can celebrate life with, that the Most High has anointed for you to be with. So every day that you wake up and breathe life, it should be something, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just looking at it as, oh, it's just another day. I woken up and now I just go do whatever. And it shouldn't have to be to where it gets to a point of where, you know what I'm saying, it takes one day out of 365 days for you to go rampant and crazy. Salakia. To rampant and crazy for you to feel like that only on this day is whenever you are gratified, or whenever you are, you know what I'm saying, whenever you know what I'm saying, have a form of some type of feeling of, you know what I'm saying, appreciation from somebody else or whatever, right? Every day should be that way. And so we end up having people to get depressed in certain seasons and stuff is because they might not have somebody and they're looking at everybody else's lives and living vicariously through that, and then they go into that depression and stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? And so they start feeling like that, oh, well, I'll never, and this ain't going. Well, all you have to do is just continuously work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Things will happen. That's what I will tell you. Things will happen. You know what I'm saying? I've been on a journey in my life, in my walk, right? I've been through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the ins and outs for a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, for me to be able to know the things that I know, right? It hasn't been an easy walk, but at the end of the day, the thing about it is that, you know what I'm saying, I still walk it out, right? We know that one of the things that he says is that in our scriptures that we're supposed to be enduring until the end. How do we endure to the end? We know that we can't endure to the end. The only way that we can endure to the end is through HaMashiach. You know what I'm saying? It's through Yahushua Mashiach, the Christ, right? The Messiah, right? And so we know for a fact that if through him we're able to endure through the end, this means that there is something that is that will be cast upon us many different times that we will not be able to that we might not be able to, you know what I'm saying, carry that load. This is why it says in Matthew, what is that? I think that's Matthew 28. It's either Matthew 28 or 25. Let me see. I think it's 20. I think it's 25. Maybe it's 28. Let me see here. Let me look. Give me a moment, beloved. I got you. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right address for these, right? All right. I have something that's telling me something in my brain, and I'm going to go right there to it and see what it is. Because something is like, no, I think you're looking right here, right? I think this is what it is. Yep, you're right. So he was letting me know. It's Matthew 11. That's what I was laughing, because he was like, no, it's 11, but it's 28:11, not Matthew 28. That's why I said I have something that. So it says here, right? Come unto me, all ye that are that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. Right? For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So when it says that you shall find rest on your souls, unto your souls, right? This means that those things that we burden ourselves with, you know what I'm saying, day in and day out, feeling like that maybe we're not good enough, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, that it's not the situations that happen in our lives, or, you know what I'm saying, and we tend to make them very much weighty, you know what I'm saying, things we can't change, things that we have anxiety for, the things that we want to change, but, you know what I'm saying, it's just all that type of stuff. We have the weightiness of those things that, you know, just like I said earlier, there's people that mess around in these seasons and these holidays and stuff, and they'll feel some type of way because they might not either have family, or they might not have a loved one, or whatever, right? And so it becomes very weighty on them. But this is why what I said with the endurance is that whenever you give it to, you know what I'm saying, whenever you give it to the Lord, whenever you give it to the Adonai, right? The Adonai, Lord, you know what I'm saying, whenever you give it unto him, then he will help you to be able to face that thing and take it on, right? Now, he'll be able to restore you and help you to endure it until the end, right? And so as he's able to help you endure until the end, then we know, right, that it's not something that we can easily do ourselves. Now, the flip side of that, it goes back into what I'm saying within this video, is that, you know what I'm saying, not for the weak. 2 Corinthians 12:9, you know what I'm saying, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness, right? I've spoken about this verse last year in the video. I can't remember what video it was, right? However, we know that in this verse, it's showing that in these times of weakness, so as the veil that's being sheathed, trying to be sheathed back over us, onto us, also goes into Revelation. You know what I'm saying? And so the enemy is definitely working. And so he's using those moments that the enemy is trying to make us weak in order for him to give us strength. And that's a beautiful thing, because then it goes back into Romans 8, you know what I'm saying, 8:28, when it says that, you know what I'm saying, all things work to the good of him who loves, you know what I'm saying, the Most High, right? And so we see that it's actually just working. It transpires. Everything is really just working the way it's supposed to. Salakia. So another thing is that Isaiah 40:29, right? And he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. So if you are in a moment where you feel like that, you know, it's like a blah season or time, or it's like, well, I'm trying to get things to, but it's not, don't worry, you know what I'm saying, because everything is working the way it's supposed to work. There's more work that's being done in the spiritual than it is in the physical, you know what I'm saying. The physical thing that we do is continuously pray, continuously to have intimacy, you know what I'm saying, with the Father, reverence, you know what I'm talking about, to continuously walk into that thing of uprightness. Many people will get mad and they'll fall off, you know what I'm saying, is because they don't want to, for real, do the work all the way. So they'll just be like, oh, well, it's not working for me, so now I'm going to give it up. So it's just like, right, it's just like learning to draw, or let's use school, for example, right? It's just like learning to do math. And so just because you cannot get the 1 + 1 = 2, right, then you just end up giving it up. But it's levels to it. It takes time in order for you to really be able to, because once you get the fundamentals down, then everything else will, you know what I'm saying, develop, and then you will embody everything else. It's the same thing as, like, you know what I'm saying, people who think about, you know what I'm saying, trying to run a 4K, you know what I'm saying, if they thinking about trying to run a 4K or whatever, right, they don't just get up one day and be like, I'm going to run the 4K, and then, you know what I'm saying, try out to go run the 4K and be like, I'm never going to run the 4K because I can't do it. It's levels to that. You have to, you know what I'm saying, gradually, you know what I'm saying, build your endurance, your stamina, in order for you to be able to have what is required for you to be able to, you know what I'm saying, run the full 4K, you know what I'm saying, so you can be able to not just faint in everything. This is another reason why it says that what he will give us, we should mount up on wings like eagles, you know what I'm saying, and then we should run and not faint. We should walk and not be weary. So this means that there's a form of endurance that he's going to give us through the weakness, you know what I'm talking about. And so we know that in those times, you know what I'm saying, because I've spoken about the wilderness a lot. And so in those times of our own personal wildernesses, he is going to give us strength in those times, right? Now, another one is Psalms 82:3. And it says that give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute, right? And so this kind of goes back, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, well, kind of goes back a little bit to what I was speaking about as far as with the youth, you know what I'm talking about. And so, you know, that he's giving justice to the weak and the fatherless, right? So, as far as the fatherless, I'm not talking about just physical youth. I'm also talking about spiritual youth. You know what I'm saying? There are many people that wander aimlessly seeking, you know what I'm saying, for guidance, seeking for a father. You know what I'm talking about? And so they will end up allowing themselves to fall accustomed or a victim unto those things that present themselves to look like a father, right? And so this goes into, like I said, like the third eye thing, and you know what I'm saying, many different, you know what I'm saying, uh, spiritual practices that people ensue, right? Hinduism and all this type of stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And so all these different things that people try to fall underneath, they're trying to figure themselves out and find themselves in those things, right? And the reason why this verse stands out to me so you know what I'm saying, powerfully, is because it's just like a child that has grown up without a parent. So there's this longing to be able to know where they come from. You know what I'm saying? What type of form of connectivity do they have so they can be able to discover their true selves? And so whenever we put it in a spiritual aspect, it's the same thing that a lot of people are doing in these days and times, is because they're following under the thing that makes them feel like that they are empowered, or that they have some form of relativity, or, you know what I'm saying, resonance or connectivity towards, right? And so this is why people will pick up things like, you know what I'm saying, just saying the universe, and, you know what I'm saying, people will pick up tarot, or people will pick up Buddhism, you know what I'm saying, people will pick up Hinduism, you know what I'm saying, all these different things that people pick up, you know what I'm talking about. And so they pick these things up is because really what it really is that they're looking for something that is, like a connectivity, you know what I'm saying? Something that is of who they are, identity in these things. So we look for our identity. The way we have our identity is we have our identity through our parents. This lets us know who we are, whose we are, what genes that we have, what we can expect, and things that, you know what I'm saying, what privileges or authority that comes with it, right? The same thing as a person that's an orphan that finds out that they are now heir to a kingdom. So now it's like, well, I was told I was an orphan all my life, and so the things that were so common, you know what I'm saying, to me, then those are the things that I had delved into. But now that I found out that I am a heir, you know what I'm saying, a rightful heir to royalty, now there's privileges and there's things that's more authoritative that I'm actually able to have and to walk into. And so now we have to learn how to walk into that thing, right? But this goes with the same thing, like I'm saying with this verse where it says, you know what I'm saying, give justice to the weak and the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute, right? So in these times, you know what I'm saying, as and this is not for everybody, this is just to a few people. Some people, you know what I'm saying, they kind of feel maybe like burnt out, or like, you know, because times I get like that, you know what I'm saying, there's times I might feel overwhelmed, you know what I'm saying, but I still am able to push through. So I'm just kind of giving y'all gems and keys of, you know what I'm saying, the push through, how to be able to still push through that thing, right? Is that you are still doing the work. The fact that you are not going back into the thing that, you know what I'm saying, you had escaped out of, is doing the work. The thing, for you to be able to have a time where you sit back. Sometimes you don't always have to just be up and out and all the time active trying to do whatever. Sometimes you just allow yourself to sit in that silence. Allow the Most High to really be able to use you, to teach you. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I know, right, is that the word pray, right? And so it's what is it? It's praise, you know what I'm saying? It's prayer, you know what I'm saying?
redemption, then you ask, and then you yield. The why is the main thing, is the yielding. Sometimes there's things that's required for you to yield in order for you, because we're so used to things, you know what I'm saying, going and going and going and going and going, where it's like, not everything always has to be a going and going thing, you know what I'm saying? And so the reason we see that this is because we continuously, most definitely, are forever learning. However, we tend to want to try to always learn, but then we'll grab onto every little thing that doesn't really. So there's people that'll mess around and still learn, try to figure out things, and well, now let me go into learning about, you know what I'm saying, we ain't just say stones and stuff, learning into crystals and all this type of stuff, you know what I'm talking about, and all this type of stuff, and then they stay in that thing, you know what I'm saying. And so when when you really realize, you know what I'm saying, that sometimes everything is not just supposed to be given to you at your fingertips. Sometimes things will be given to you, but it's not for you to always just go, and then you will allow yourself the space to be able to have some form of, you know what I'm saying, of resonance, you know what I'm saying, where things can resonate, where you don't have to force things. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Some people tend to try to, they be so trying to do stuff where they end up forcing things. And whenever you force it is whenever you start to kind of hinder yourself. So, like, you don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You don't always have to force something. Sometimes it's okay just to just sit and allow things to happen. You know what I'm saying? This is how things operate, And so, just be delicate with yourself. Be very delicate with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely be delicate with yourself. Appreciate life. Appreciate, you know what I'm saying, those who appreciate you and stuff like that. If you don't have anybody that appreciates you, just know that, you know what I'm saying, the Father appreciates you. He created you, you know. Also, I guess because I'm kind of working on something as well, you know what I'm saying, and so the lyrics that I had wrote, you know what I'm saying, it weighs heavy on me because it stemmed from a situation that I seen, right? And so I seen this thing where it was like, I seen it was this young man and it was this young woman, and they were in a relationship together. And so what ended up happening was, I guess one went before the other. One had ended up, you know what I'm saying, passing away, and then the other one, you know what I'm saying, just lost his life. And, you know what I'm saying, like, I really do. Sometimes people get on my nerves, but I really do love people, you know what I'm saying, most definitely. And so I would never wish that on anybody, you know what I'm saying, because I know what it's like to feel alone and to feel like that you always have to try to do stuff in order for you to feel relevant or for you to make yourself feel alive, because you rest assured on the things that you do, which makes you feel alive. And so it's hard for you to sit into, you know what I'm saying, the solitude, you know what I'm saying, of the absence of all things, in order for you to be able to receive things. You know, I used to be there. I've gotten really comfortable with being able to do that now, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to encourage anybody out there that you matter, like, for real, you know what I'm saying, that you matter. Like, just because people may treat you a certain way, or maybe people don't know because you hide behind smiles, or, you know what I'm saying, that just know that you are heard, that you matter, you know what I'm saying. The world is the world, you know what I'm saying, but you are a totally different creation, you know what I'm talking about. You were created to be able to make a change, to make something, you know what I'm saying, to leave a imprint, you know what I'm talking about, on those around you. Sometimes you don't know the imprint that you leave on people around you, you know what I'm talking about, because you're too caught up into the voices of accusation, or the voices of failure, the voices of doubt, and all these type of things, you know what I'm talking about. And so that allows the enemy to be able to be like, well, now you're looking for a way out to try to submerge those feelings and suppress that thing. So now all this extra entertainment is out here for you to go ahead and get lost in the sauce of. only for you to lose yourself that much more deeper into, you know what I'm talking about, the world agenda, you know what I'm talking about, into, you know what I'm saying, the abyss of secularism, right? Don't lose yourself. Just be okay with taking your time, you know what I'm saying? Know that everything works out the way it's supposed to, you know? Just like that's the reason why I read those scriptures, is because in that time of your weakness, you know what I'm saying, is whenever he's going to provide you your strength. You can never tell me, and I will bet you money that you can never tell me that there's a situation that you were in, that you were weak, and that you ended up becoming stronger out of that weakness of that situation. It could be you've been in a relationship. It could be you've been in some type of physicality. It could be that you've been in some type of mental battle or struggle or whatever. And whenever you overcame that thing, you were a lot more stronger than that situation. This is another reason why they say what don't kill you makes you stronger, right? So there is no such thing as strength coming from strength. Strength comes from weakness. This is the whole process of working out. You know what I'm saying? Is because your body is not used to certain things, so you have to start operating with things, you know what I'm saying, through that weakness in order for you to become strong, to get stronger than that thing. You know, like you might not be able to lift a 5-pound weight, but yet, you know what I'm saying, you work out with 5-pound weights, and then you are able to go to 10, and then so now that who you were then, unable to lift a 5-pound, you lift it with ease. It's the same thing, you know what I'm talking about, in the spiritual realm, right? So keep that in mind. And so what I say that to say this is loop back into the beginning, is that, you know what I'm saying, with those things that, you know, you might feel like that, hey, why am I not able to physically always just do stuff, or maybe I just, you know, this time of rest I get anxious or whatever, and it don't seem like nothing I don't seem like I'm able to do nothing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just know that it works in the spirit. Now, kind of going back to tap into the thing what I was talking about as far as the dreams and everything like this, right, is as far as the spiritual aspect, you want to make sure that you stay prayed up. Because whenever the enemy sees that you are trying to grow beyond something, the enemy will try to throw whatever rift or snare or snag into, you know what I'm saying, into your destiny. And what I mean by this is that sometimes you'll have people that pray against you to try to make you overly tired. And what this is, you know what I'm saying, the spiritual realm is they're pulling on your energy and trying to drain you. But you will know this whenever you have dreams and stuff like this, because then you'll have they'll come in your dreams and stuff like this, and they'll seem like familiarities. They'll use familiar spirits and stuff like this, but also they'll be questioning, and they'll be kind of like watching, like you'll know they're there, and so they'll be like they're kind of like watching and observing, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes through their questioning, they do certain things in order for you to kind of expose certain things, or to kind of watch and see, you know what I'm saying, like a weak point. And sometimes those weak points will come into something that you know what I'm saying, that's in your heart of heart that you might desire, you know what I'm talking about. It could be sinful, you know what I'm saying? And so a thing that you're supposed to overcome, but yet you succumb to it. And so they're using that to try to see. And so, you know what I'm saying, even if it's something that you don't tell a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, it's something that you're able to do, you know what I'm saying, that's a really great thing, then they will try to see, and in your dream present you with a thing of where you operate in that talent or that gift in your dream. And so they'll monitor, like, you know what I'm saying, because sometimes as we have dreams and we're good and talented at certain things, in our dreams we're like times 10 on those things, right? And so as we're like times 10 on those things, then it ends up being something that's you know what I'm saying? I know that y'all know what I'm talking about, because you could be a person that you sing, or you rap, or you draw, you know what I'm saying, or you do some sports or whatever, right? And so in your dreams, whenever you do the sports and stuff like that, then you are like you are like way beyond, and you're basically, I guess, at the like maximum of your potential in the dream, and you know in yourself that in the physical that you can do that thing, but you just take a little bit of work to get to that level. Or you might even be able to do that thing, but you just are able to do it so fluidly in the dream, right? And so these entities will mess around and try to, you know what I'm saying, watch you to see what you do, how you do it, and stuff like that. And, you know, So then there are people that are praying, you know what I'm saying, that are peering in, and that they'll end up, you know what I'm saying, having familiar spirits or being able to see astral project into your dreams and stuff like this, and then they'll try to pull from your energy, to pull those things, you know what I'm talking about, in order to make you tired. You know what I'm saying? This is not all the time, you know, so there's times you can just be tired and it's just tired. But if you're tired, you know what I'm saying, beyond the norm, then it's a pool of energy, right? So like it's something that's trying to pull you. You know what I'm saying? So be careful of that. Another thing is, what is it? Dang, I lost that thought. I was going to speak about that thing. I forgot what that thought was. I guess it'll come back. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to speak about it right then. You know what I'm saying? However, just know, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of things that are happening, you know what I'm saying, in these seasons are going to be more in the spiritual. So therefore, as these things operate in the spiritual, you know what I'm saying, just make sure that you take heed to those things. Also, the enemy will mess around and try to make it to where you feel like weak about things, like you might not be wanting to pray as much or whatever, and this is a spiritual attack. So be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Those things that you feel like it's pressure to do those things, you know what I'm saying? Because as you build through that thing, the enemy is not trying to do nothing but just take that thing away from you, or make you feel like that there is no, you know what I'm saying, strength in you, right? And the enemy wants you to be weak. But just like I said in 2 Corinthians 12:9, that my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness, right? Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me, right? So just, you know, pray. Sometimes the enemy will tell you in your prayers, oh, that's not working, or you saying it the wrong way, or this is not, and so therefore you think he's hearing you, all that type of stuff. He's going to do that. But the main thing I want to tell y'all is this, right? And I think this is what I was actually getting ready to say. Hallelujah. Thank you. Is that, you know what I'm saying, is that the enemy can't read your mind. The enemy he can only just give you suggestive imaginations. He can't read your mind. This is why the enemy has to try to peer into what you are doing via the dreams and stuff like that, or have monitoring spirits and stuff like that, to kind of see, so he can get an idea of how to formulate craftiness against you. But we know that the Most High is very strategic, right? And so the enemy cannot read your mind. So whenever you have them things that's inside of you, you're praying, is just know that the enemy don't know what you think, and the enemy just trying to throw them suggestive imaginations into your brain. You know what I'm saying? But don't come into agreement with that. You know what I'm saying? Leave those things alone. Just denounce those things. You know what I'm talking about? As you denounce those things, then, you know what I'm saying, you now exert your authority and your power over the enemy. So now he's rendered powerless. This is why it says to resist the devil and he shall flee. His job is to try to make you, you know what I'm saying, stagnate on them things, and make you feel like that, or try to get you out of your position, like what he did with Adam and Eve, you know what I'm talking about, in the garden, to get them out of their position. Everything was already given to them. You know what I'm saying? But then he was like, well, you know, the Most High don't want you to be like him, so that's why he don't want you to. But it's certain things that was not needed to know. You know what I'm saying? He never said that eventually, you know what I'm saying, that he wasn't going to give it to him. He just said that, hey, you know what? Hey, just don't touch that fruit. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say that, you know, that never will I. He just said don't touch the fruit because he needed obedience. Obedience is the main thing. That was one of the first lessons that he wanted. Because he was like, I've given you, you know what I'm saying? I've given you dominion over everything. And so as I've given you dominion, just know that the things that I've given you, you know what I'm saying, will work out in your favor. But I just require obedience. Now, how can you operate in that obedience? You know what I'm saying? And the way you operate in that obedience is being able to have the faith in knowing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we be in a season to where we want to see things to work out. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we have to do. It's just, okay, it's just like a parent. A parent tells you, hey, you know, don't touch the stove. In our minds, we're like, well, you know, why? You know what I'm saying? But it's just obedience. But we go when we touch the stove and we get burnt, and then we see why. sometimes the why is not, is not going to be conducive to what we're trying to do. And so it's things that he sees that he wants to save us from. But if we cannot operate in obedience, then what else, what more responsible can we get? They can't trust us around, the stove, or leaving us alone around that stove if they know that we're not going to be obedient. It's the same thing, I'm talking about. Whenever this is things that we're doing, that he's doing with us in our lives, there's things that we want, that we desire, but he's like, don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about the thing that you desire. Just know that it's going to work out. Now, it might not be the time that you want it to, but my time is not like yours. But that's where the spirit of anxiety comes in. You know what I'm saying? But just be patient with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be on the whim. You know what I'm saying? The world is not going to end whenever you feel like it's just going to, everything's going to operate the way it does. So just make sure that you stay prayed up. Make sure that you keep a relationship with him. The enemy is going to give you suggestions and stuff like that. Don't listen to him. Continue to follow yourself. You know what I'm saying? Continue to follow, the Most High. Know that, to keep your heart on him. You know what I'm saying? And when you keep your heart on him and stuff like that, then he won't veer you. You won't give him the ability to veer you off. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you getting attacked a lot, make sure that you increasing your prayer life. You know what I'm saying? Increasing your prayer life for real. Take the time to really, wake up, at least give him like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 15 minutes. That's nothing. You can give 15 minutes to Facebook or Instagram or all these other apps and stuff like that, which you probably give more than, you know what I'm saying? But you can't give him that in your daytime when you arise. You know what I'm saying? Give him that in the daytime and in the night and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And so then it builds up more. Then that decreases the opportunity of the enemy to be able to try to tear down the walls that you have, in place for you to be able to be protected, for you to be able to make sure that you're covered. So therefore, he cannot penetrate your camp. You know what I'm saying? He cannot penetrate who you are. Right? Because that's what he wants to do, is just steal, kill, and destroy. So he wants to steal your destiny, your joy, try to destroy your path, try to destroy your mind, and therefore you fall that much more farther away from the blessings that the Most High is going to give you. You know what I'm talking about? So don't let him trick you out your spot. You know what I'm saying? There's many things that are operating in your lives that are blessings, that somebody would love to have that situation and win with it. You know what I'm saying? And so just make sure that you are, make sure that you keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? That there are situations and things that you might have, that you might feel like that it's not enough, but somebody else out there is looking for that same similar situation to win with it. Right? So just know that you're blessed. Hey, beloved. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to really speak about. You know what I'm talking about? Just make sure that you stay strong. Make sure that you don't allow the wool to be pulled over your eyes. These next few days, I have 2 videos that I'm going to be doing, you know what I'm talking about? And they're going to be kind of expounding on certain things that I've seen, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of want to go into a full detail of it to kind of show you how the stage is being set, you know what I'm talking about, by the, you know what I'm saying, the princes of darkness, you know what I'm talking about. And so how they kind of try to operate on certain things, But, aside from that, appreciate y'all giving me y'all time, y'all day, night, afternoon, whenever you see this video. You know what I'm talking about. Salakia. I love each and every one of y'all. Stay prayed up. I'm proud of y'all. If nobody has told you today, you know what I'm saying, that they proud of you, I'm proud of you. Another thing is that I want to say this as well, is that sometimes I don't always just make the videos and stuff like this, right? The reasons why is because I don't want anybody to get just comfortable on it, just because we all need encouragement. So I don't want people to just get comfortable on, you know what I'm saying, just people becoming the source of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Thus, we're supposed to edify each other, right? But whenever we do that, whenever we put other people as the source of encouragement, then we start to deny a relationship with the Father. So it's like, oh, well, I can just go to this person, I can go to her or him, or, you know what I'm saying? And we don't, that's not what's needed. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing, is that I always give everything to the Most High. The things that I'm able to learn, the things that I know and see, you know what I'm saying, is all attributed to the Father who created me, you see? And so I don't want it to be one of them things where it's kind of like because sometimes we'll develop a dependability, you know what I'm saying, on people and stuff like this. And then what that does is we start to put people in certain places and stuff like this when that's not really what's required. The Most High just uses these people in order for us to be able to come closer unto Him, right? So that's another thing, you know what I'm saying, that I just kind of want to throw out there, you know what I'm saying. But just be encouraged. Like, anytime I'm on here, I'm going to encourage y'all. I love y'all for real. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I keep y'all in my prayers. Please keep me in yours. You know what I'm saying? We are supposed to keep each other in prayer, edify, be passionate, be compassionate, be patient, you know what I'm talking about, humble, kind, and love to each other. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't cost anything to be able to love on each other. You know what I'm talking about, to support each other and encourage each other, you know. So, you know, I'm not lying when I say I'm proud of each and every one of y'all, most definitely. There's battles that people face behind, you know what I'm saying, the scenes and stuff like this, and yet you overcome those things graciously, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you said, yes, for real. Yep, got to put Him first. That's the main thing. There's so many people that they lose track. They get on this holy high horse where they're like, okay, well, now I'm the one that, and it's like, no, when you do that, you're taking His glory from Him. So you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a person that wants to do that ever. You know, because I know what it's like for Him to take His hands off of us. You know what I'm saying? Or off of me. I know what it's like for Him to take His hands off of me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go through that again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to take Him of His glory. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, would a man rob God, would a man rob Yah? I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Some people do it though, and you know, hey, you know, we pray for those people. But I really am proud of y'all. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying, with everything. Y'all are a wonderful creation. Like, just know that you matter. If nobody told you that you matter, nobody told you that you're proud of you, nobody told you that they love you, you know what I'm saying? It's all that over here. I'm proud of you. I love you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm glad you exist. You know what I'm saying? You are doing so many wonderful things, regardless if it's something that's a minute task that leads into a big thing, or something that's a big thing that leads into an even bigger thing. Because one of the things that, you know what I'm saying, we have to keep in mind is that he made it to work in our favor, right? And for us to be able to work in His will, in His favor, is because it's hard enough for us to be able to tackle all the big major things in our lives, right? And so all He requires from us is just a little small step, a little mustard seed faith, in order for Him to do the big things. You know what I'm saying? He can take a seed and He can grow, you know what I'm saying, a valley. You know what I'm saying? He can grow trees and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying, He can take just one little thing and then make it a multitude of things. So this is why we have mustard seed faith. This is why He just allows us to have just that, because with that He can end up making a lot more for us. So don't be discouraged and thinking that, oh, well, I want to take everything all on at once. You know what I'm saying? Just go with that little mustard seed faith, and everything else grows. You grow at your own time, most definitely. Just don't stay choked up into those things that you cannot release, because you can't accept blessings with both hands cleansed, right? I love you too, beloved. I thank you. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Most definitely. It's encouraging. I thank you. But yeah, so, you know, that's it with this, you know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up, you know what I'm talking about. Encourage everybody, love on who loves you, you know what I'm saying? Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And if you're not celebrated anywhere, just know that the Most High celebrates you, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Spend time alone with Him for real, and let Him manifest and work things in your life and bring things to pass, because that's the times when He loves to do the most miraculous things to show you that He loves you. He'll do these little love notes, spiritual love notes, where to either be, you can be walking in something, and then next thing you know, you see a sign or something, or somebody come up to you, and or children or animals or just anything, a song that plays or just something. He's just so he's so just marvelous For real. So he'll do anything just to let you know, like a sign of encouragement, these little spiritual love notes, you know what I'm talking about? And once you catch on to it, then you see it, and he's letting you know that he's with you always. So you're never alone, you know? So just be encouraged, you know what I'm talking about? Make sure that we pray over the youth, most definitely, because they need it as well. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these times, because things are trying to be geared towards trying to attack them. And that we know that the way that the enemy likes to try to transgress against the Most High is by hurting the children. You know what I'm saying? We're all his children, most definitely, but we know the Most High takes pride in the children. This is another reason why in Scripture it says to have faith faith as a child, you know what I'm talking about, or to be as a young child, you know what I'm saying, in the spirit, right? Is because there's nothing that is out the limits of what a child can imagine and that they can do, and also because they're pure in that form, right? So, you know, just keep that in mind. So with that, I bid adieu. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? Have a blessed night, day, evening, you know what I'm talking about? Stay prayed up, keep the Most High first, you know what I'm talking about, and continue to thrive on your journey, you know what I'm talking about? Not survive, but thrive. Don't die in the wilderness, you know what I'm saying? Make it to your promised land, you know? So I bid adieu. Shalom, shalom, beloveds. Peace.